evening, everyone. Welcome to Janderra. I'm Garrowen, and I do apologise that I've been AWOL for a little bit. Still recovering from this horrible virus. Still not sure exactly what it was. We have our theories, and I've been told to assume what it was, but I'm going and getting some tests done tomorrow. Thankfully, we can actually get tests done in our area now. So anyway, hi Annette, how are you going? I heard you finally had some cooler weather. Gardening Perth, Western Australia mentioned that you guys had some rain. Also said you had a 42-degree day yesterday, I think it was. Anyway, so just while we're waiting for a few people to come in, so my last weekly chat was about 2 weeks ago, so it was a while ago. I think I'm actually wearing the same dress that I was then too. Anyway, hi Bibi, welcome. Hi Tammy, thanks for joining us. So since then I haven't done an awful lot of videos because we just haven't been feeling well. We did do an update on the mealworms, and Jonathan just thought they were the most delightful thing and thought they were adorable. And of course I ordered some fish before I got sick, and they arrived while I was as sick as a dog, and of course it had to be raining, didn't it? So I've possibly gone and gotten a secondary infection partially because of that. But yes. And Agent 86 is back. Welcome. Crazy Ed's Homestead. In Missouri, you had 3 inches of ice and 7.5 inches of snow. Wow, that's intense. Yesterday was 43 degrees Celsius. Today was 24 Celsius. Oh, that would have been such a relief. Oh, sorry to see you go, Bibi. So yes, so we released the fish. So I was putting some glass fish into the pond or dam, what do you want to call it? They're a plankton feeder, and they will be a feeder fish for when I put in bigger fish that are omnivorous or carnivorous. Yeah. Hi, Make the Caveman, or should I say Wild? I'm assuming that Mike is not actually up yet. Yeah, we miss you, beautiful. So, and my incubator arrived. So I got a new incubator. You can see it going on behind me over here. I need to turn those eggs actually. I think I'm day 7 now in the incubation process. So I did a bit of an unboxing video. Got my Rhode Island Red eggs in there. My girls are 6 or 7 years old, so they're getting a little bit old, so I'm wanting to get younger stock in. So yes, and I've got to show you this. This is just the cutest thing ever. I thought it was anyway. 4, 5, 6, 7. Jonathan's counting.
You got 7 fingers up, have you?
Is that the cutest thing? Don't you love the way he's counting?
4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 fingers up, have you?
I just thought it was the cutest little thing. Yeah, it's still wild. Like starting to stir, is he? He can finally get out into the garden and plant some seeds and seedlings. Yay! Yeah, it's time to replace with a few new hens, which was why I actually got that batch of, or I actually tried to hatch 2 dozen eggs last time, and I've done a review of that process and what happened with that in one of my other videos. But it was dreadful. I hardly got any chickens hatched at all, but I think that was the quality of the eggs that I got. And then I bought 11 chickens as well. So they're a different genetic stock to mine. So once these ones hatch, hopefully any hens I get from here I can match with roosters from there, and any hens from there I can match with roosters from here. So hopefully it'll go really well. Thumbs not allowed. Well, I don't quite get that one. Oh, no. He's just so cute. He really is. Would be funny if he doesn't use his middle finger. He's my little blessing. He really is. So then a lot of you will have seen our house saga video. We are still having quite a few challenges with that, but Nettie and Adam from Silhouette Park Farm have given me a concreter's details. So I'm working on trying to contact him to see if he can come and give me some quotes on what's going to happen. Rob Bob has given me the contact details for the person that did his renovations. And of course, Bibby, an agent, gave me the details for the guy that did a whole heap of renovations at their place, who I got to do my roof. And I got him to come out and give me a quote, which is still scary large. But yes, so I still need to find lots more contractors just to give us some ideas as to what we're facing. So basically, we've got 4 options that I can see. One is to fix the current house, but there's a whole heap of other problems that are not included in this video, including plumbing that needs to be completely redone. But if we get the concrete, if the concrete gets completely taken out, we can fix all of that at the same time. But I don't know how much that's going to cost. The next option is to demolish the current house and rebuild. I have no idea what the council process is with that. Next option is to get another demountable little house like the one that we're currently staying in, which is my mum's granny flat, for once we're finished with sorting out the house. So at least we've got this to live in. And then the fourth option is potentially getting one of those, a house that's been removed from another block. There's a lot of work in repairing those. And finances are very stretched at the moment. I have been saving up as much as I possibly can over the last 6 months, because I knew that it was going to come a point in time when the insurance company was going to go, shh, no more. And honestly, we've been lucky that they've been covering what they have, because they could have just gone from the very beginning, no, it's poor workmanship, we're not covering anything. So it has been an absolute godsend that they've been covering what they have. So I'm not going to kick up too much of a fuss on that one, but I will be pushing it as much as I can. But yeah, so not quite sure what we're doing at the moment. So if you do know of any tradesmen, specifically builders, that can give us some advice on any of those 4 options, there is a gentleman at Gatton that makes little they're similar to this but better. They're much better quality and they're cheaper. So the reason we didn't go with him before we got this one was he wasn't able to get anything into the country. So I'm pretty sure he'll have the parts by now to be able to put something together, and we could potentially get something custom made through that. And that's the option I'm leaning towards, because then we've got more time to sort everything else out. But yes, not sure what we're doing at this stage, but we need tradesmen. So yes. Okay, now I've gotten a bit behind here. I'm having a battle getting the veggie garden back into order, but slowly succeeding. You would be, agent, because you've got a fair way out of hand. Apple Tree Urban Homestead was actually just giving us a bit of an update on the weather over there earlier. You missed it. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're getting some reprieve with your weather. Oh, absolutely. Got to push as hard as you can. Yeah, cool. The weather's much nicer. Yeah, I'm really hoping, like, see if I can find it, because it's a much better option. It's all made in Australia, whereas what we've got here is not made in Australia. It's made in China and it's been shipped over, and it is really, really not good workmanship at all. It is really dodgy workmanship. We're actually incredibly disappointed with it. It's not to the standard that we were expecting in the slightest. See if I can pop it over here and I'll go back again after. So we've actually gone and had a look at this. It's much better built. It's much better design. And as I said, it's been made in Australia. It's on I-beams, and you just do a concrete block underneath it. You don't even need the concrete slab. But it's already got a proper roof. It's got a kitchen that's all connected. All you have to do is literally plug in a hose. They're actually designed to be used in caravan parks. So all you do is plug in a plug like you do at a caravan park with your electricity, and plug in a hose for your water. This is obviously a little bit smaller than what we would need. So yeah, this particular one that I'm looking at is only a 1-bedroom, I think. So it's 1 bedroom, a bathroom, living room. So we'd obviously need something a bit bigger than that. But he custom makes them because he makes them in Australia. We've been out to have a look at it. Gavin absolutely loves the workmanship of the place. And that's nearly half of what this cost us. But at the time, he didn't have any, he wasn't able to get his parts. The parts were all stuck in the docks. So that's similar to what we've currently got. So he's got the full pricings down here, so you can get bigger ones and all that sort of stuff. So, and he'll custom make them. So that's pretty much what I'm thinking, that's probably going to be our best option as some sort of way of bit of a stopgap while we figure out what's going on. But yeah, so it's absolutely brilliant. It's Australian made. It's all done to specs and standards. They're really good. But yeah, so that's what I'm hoping. We're probably, and between the money that I've got saved up and what we should get from the insurance, we should be able to manage that one. So yes, that's a bit of an update on how the house saga's been going. Now I've gotten a bit behind with this, with the chat, sorry. Yeah, so that's the one that I was looking at. You know, some diggers. What kind of diggers? I have actually spoken to the guy that did the building and pest inspection for us when we built the house. And he's actually suggested that we need to get a landscaper in to dig I've got that light right, have I? Sorry. That we get a landscaper in to dig a 1 foot deep trench all the way around the house, fill it with gravel and ag pipe so that the water can drain away. So he suggested that's the first thing we need to do to actually get the slab dry. I know we need to work on the gutters on the house, and the drainage around the house is shocking. So yeah, it is a really cool little thing. Hey, Ashley. Thanks for joining us from the UK. Always lovely to have you here. Yeah, hopefully the supply line problems. I think we'd be better off getting a custom built one that was slightly bigger. And the real advantage of these is they actually get delivered onto your block. And they're all ready to go. All you need to do is plug in the power and plug in the water and you're done. You're ready. You go. You're off. So simple. So that's, if I was to get another container house type thing, that's what I'd be going for. because it's already got the roofing and the guttering all sorted, so we can collect water off it straight away too. So yes. Yeah. Yes, you do work in the cemetery, but you're a little bit far away. Yes, gutters equal more water. Absolutely. Love the extra water. So the other thing we've been doing is Jonathan has started prep, which he is absolutely loving it. So I'm really pleased with it. So, and what I did with Matthew when I had a lot of problems with Matthew with doing his sight words and his reading and all that sort of thing. He was quite anxious about the whole thing. And I was praying about it, and God gave me this idea to make up these little books, which I can't see either near me at the moment. Nope. And I made up a set of these books that I basically looked at the sight words list, because he just wouldn't sit still long enough for me to actually go through the flashcards with him. He just wasn't going to sit still. So what I did was I'd take 3 or 4 of the sight words and I'd turn it into a little book, and I'd take pictures of him doing so. So the first one I did was I looked at the sight words and I found the words "I am in my," and then I just went around and took photos of him in different things. So I don't actually have that on this channel. It's on my Apps Alive channel. Let's see if I can. I've got a link for my Apps Alive channel. It's not quite what I originally planned for it, but so I've been going through and doing the sight words stuff for Matthew. So this is the original book. This is the one that's
in.
So the idea is, with an early reader, you want to have it so that there are 3 words the same and 1 word changes on each page. So Matthew actually helped me pick the little things that he was in. So he's got "I am in my bucket." And he just skips along and goes through different things. And Jonathan absolutely loves these books. But this was one of the ways that I taught Matthew how to read, and Matthew just loves reading. But it was a real struggle to start off with. But when I came across this idea, he just absolutely loved it. And now Jonathan's loving it. So now I've started making up books for Jonathan. And we made his first one yesterday. So I've been going through and re-releasing and actually making videos out of all of them, because I hadn't done any for ages. Oh, you got to go, Agent? Cool. Catch you later. Yep, Agent's back in the garden. The captions under the picture are really helpful. I didn't like kids' books. If I could have made my own, I would have loved that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. You were a terrible reader. No one had the patience with me. Textbooks actually helped me, and my mum's plain books. Well, there you go. The other thing Matthew does is he actually puts the subtitles on. It started with Mum was having trouble hearing them, so he'd put the subtitles on for her. And what was I saying? So yeah, he'd put the subtitles on for her, and then I noticed that he was putting them on even when she wasn't in the room. I realized, and it actually helped him learn how to read. So he really likes that. So I already have, I have a whole, I think I've got about 20 of them that I did with Matthew. So my daughter actually made up a song for the alphabet one. Let's see if I can get it to start from the beginning.
A is for ant, and B is
So
for
I've gone through and
ball, C is for car.
So I've gone through and made them so that they'll fit nicely on the phone. So when I did them 7 years ago, they were lengthways for being on a computer. So I'm going through and customizing them so that they work better on a phone. So yeah. Not that it's got a lot to do with anything else, really. I just thought I'd show it off. And if anybody's got any kids that are learning to read, I'm going to be adding sight words books to this basically daily. I've got a whole set that I've got to upload. But what I did on my Janderra channel, is Jonathan made his first sight word book. So this is him reading his first book.
Under A.
And he was just so proud of himself.
Look at me under a bed.
So having him point to the letters to each word is really important.
Under
And I mean, he can't really read this. He's memorizing it. But he's looking at these words and he's starting to help him to memorize them and recognize them.
Who's in the pictures? Me. It's you. Look at me.
So if you do know anyone that's teaching their kids how to read, I'm happy to do some customizable ones for them as well.
At me.
But yeah, Jonathan is so excited. He's been pestering me all day to make up the next one.
Look at me under a trampoline. It is a trampoline. Look at me under a...
I love gardening in the rain when I'm not sick.
Australia. There's no A in that sentence, is there? I tricked you. Ha 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 ha. There is still an A. Yeah, because Australia starts with an A, doesn't it? A capital A. It is a capital A. That's a very good spotting. Okay, next page.
He did do very well. I'm very proud of him. And he was just taking this book around everywhere. He read it to Dad, he read it to Grandma.
Look at
Memorizing is a really big part of learning to read, especially with the sight words, because sight words are words that don't follow the spelling convention. That's why they are sight words,
isn't it?
I think there's like 40 of them, and they're words you can't sound out.
Yeah, it's a panda.
So you can't sound the words out, and they don't follow the convention. So you do need to memorize them. So yeah, and this worked so much better because they wanted to read the book.
It's your first book, isn't it? And we've got heaps of those that we've done for Matthew too. So what has it got on the back? What's on the back? It's got, in this book, word counts 47 sight words.
Dominic really loved the advice you gave her about the different homeschooling options. You gave her. Oh, that's great, Vivi. I'm so glad you did. And welcome back. And thank you. Glad you could come.
And if you would like to have some sight word books read and made for your kids,
I made another one. He's very excited about it. So I'm going through and making a heap of others too. So he just loves it. I know you're remembering the first computer program you used to teach your son how to read. Yeah, I think I've still got some programs that I used for Crystal that I'm using with Matthew and Jonathan, that I used with Matthew. I haven't used them with Jonathan because a lot of them aren't working on the computers anymore. So yes, and then we candled the eggs, which you can see behind me. No, that side. There they are. Still a little bit hard to tell. I'm not sure. This is the first time I've used this incubator, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. I am a bit disappointed with it because it was supposed to be an auto-turning one, and my eggs were too big to fit in it. I could only fit 6 eggs in there when it was supposed to fit 12. It'd probably fit 12 quail eggs, but not Rhode Island red eggs, which was a bit disappointing. So yes. So that's that. And next. Haven't watched that one yet? Oh, it's a good one. Good fun, that one. There's little Jonathan's channel and Matthew's channel. Oh, that's Crystal. Crystal's my 25-year-old daughter. And then there's the Apps Alive channel there. So yes. And then we have come down a little bit further. Now, if you're looking for tech tips on everything on anything YouTube related, you can find them in this tech tips playlist. So I've got how to put end screens and cards on your phone and on your computer, changing thumbnails, all that sort of jazz. You've been lurking, beautiful. I can understand that. I'm glad you were able to hang around. We do love you to bits. We really do. And totally understand. So, okay, back to the Shed Wars stuff. I have been very, very slack on making Shed Wars videos, and I apologise. It just hasn't worked well with my being so sick, and all the stuff with the house. But there has, because the Shed Wars Northern Hemisphere videos have... Who's the techie grandma? Who's the techie granny that you're talking about? You're not thinking I'm grandma. Jonathan's my son. You've been honking in live? We love Bibby. So yeah, the Northern Hemisphere have opened up their Shed Wars Northern entry videos. So there's been lots and lots of videos added. And I've probably missed a heap as well while I've been sick. So if I have missed any, please, 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 please let me know. Okay, so Serge Grows Organics done one on sunflowers. And Claire from Country Life with Osteoporosis has done one as well. I don't know what oxymeal in the garden herbs is. I'm going to have to watch that one because that one's been around for a while. No, none of my kids have had kids yet. I know, I'm 46 and I'm not a grandma yet. Are you homeschooled your son, as his teacher called him a no-hoper and would never amount to anything? He is now a commissioned artist and creates web comics. That's fantastic, Annette. I started homeschooling with my daughter because basically similar. When she started grade 1, she was reading at grade 2 level and was a beautiful, beautiful child. Then halfway through grade 2, she was reading at a grade 1 level and thought she was an idiot. And all the kids had convinced her she was an idiot, and she was starting to behave so badly. It was either start homeschooling her or heavily medicate her because she was getting quite violent. And homeschooling made a huge difference to her, although she'll tell you a whole heap of other stuff. But she doesn't realise what else would have been, what the alternative was. But that's okay. But yeah, and I've homeschooled both boys the whole way through. So yeah. I saw that you put up a challenge video for the Southern Hemisphere. Companies Coming Challenge for February. Yes, that's down. I have got added that to the playlist. Yes, no Shed Wars videos for you either. But I've gifted 2 raised garden beds from your awesome neighbour. Oh, nice. That's really nice. You got 2 new raised garden beds, Bib. Excellent. So yes, going down. So Q Kitchen Beyond did, I think I went through this. I remember going through this with my last weekly catch up. Sorry, I'm not on top of my game. If anyone wants to join the panel, the link should be there in the chat, should be pinned. Gardening Perth, Western Australia did the chain reaction video. I haven't watched that yet. Where to Begin Homestead is volunteering for the Southern Hemisphere. They did an all about onions. What is she up to now? Has done her entry video for Northern Hemisphere. You'd be getting close there, Gardening Perth. Absolutely, you'd be getting close. Hello, Light and Love. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, it's just been a really full-on little while. So Serge Grows Organics done a couple more. He's done quite a lot. He's got a lot going on his channel, so go check him out. The rain found him unprepared. Rain corn at home. Sugar beans. Oh, apparently I did my weekly catch-up then. And Laurie's World is volunteering as well, and she's done growing tomatoes indoor in Canada. And then she did her entry video for the Northern Hemisphere. Willa Crow did a live on whether or not Shed Wars was a network or a community. And we are a community. Oh, Bibi was an inspiration. And your truckers, Hong Kong. Cosmic Cultivators has done their Northern Hemisphere entry video. As you can see, there's a lot here that I just haven't got to watch yet. Cosmic Cultivators has done another video here. Arkansas Pilgrim has done his entry video. I do like Arkansas Pilgrim. Bushcraft Family have done their entry video. Wild Edibles showed us collecting water at sub-freezing temperature. This was really interesting. You'll have to watch that one. McDowell Manor did a incubator review, as well as a preserving the harvest of the greens. I haven't watched that one yet. It looks like I've added this one to this list twice. I don't know. Ashley's allotment diary. He was in here before. He's done his official entry. Yeah, a lot of kids that are on the spectrum do really well with homeschooling. I actually suspect that I might be on the spectrum. But yeah. Yes, hugs to both of you and to the Evelyns. If company drops by your house, they would eat well without you running out to the shop. Good question. Oh, what is Shed Wars? Shed Wars is a global gardening collaboration. At the moment, the Southern Hemisphere is running because it's our growing season. The Northern Hemisphere starts April 23rd, I think, maybe March. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I do have it in here somewhere. But yeah, so it's basically teaching how to grow and giving gardening tips and all that sort of stuff. So yes, but if you go to Homestead Aquarius's channel, he has a video explaining what SHEDWARS22 is all about. So yes. Hi, Nerd. Welcome. Ah, yes, you're back to school tomorrow. Yes. It is a gardening series. Night, night, Nettie. Oh, March 22nd. My apologies. Thank you, Tammy. Sleep well, Nettie. Hey, so Sandy Toes has done a video on eggshells by the title. Kinfolk Farms has done their official entry video for Northern Hemisphere. Michael Sherman's Gardening has done an official entry video for the Northern Hemisphere, as has Northumberland Acres and Darlene's Garden channel. All of these are in the playlist that you can find a link to on my homepage. Other than that, you can just type in SHEDWARS22 into your search on YouTube and they should all come up. Oh, which channel has the explanations? Okay, if you go to my SHEDWARS22 playlist, I've got details for John from Will It Grow. That's his channel. And then you've got Robert from Homestead Aquarius. He's got stuff on his channel as well. And if you go to my website, which is janderra.com, I've got links on there that give you stuff as well. So yes, so it makes it nice and easy to find their channels because I've got them in the list in the whoops. So that's the description for the SHEDWARS22 playlist. Yeah, so Homestead Aquarius is probably the best place to go light and love. He called me a net. To be back joining live soon. Sorry, Nettie. You have got a net in your channel name. Oh, I've missed something. Anyway. Get your sound system and voice ready. I'm not sure what you mean there. Anyway, so we've got another from Brocade Cowgirl Homestead. It's got an entry video. And Wild Edibles' Gladiator Challenge. Company is coming. So let's have a watch of this one. You need to get them in and out of the weather. Very important when company's coming. Oh, I love your crocheted curtain. Oh, look at that. The video. It can be any meal or any drink. Anyone to company. That's good, you know. Can you tell how you just had it? Even the chopped liver. Whoa. Don't continue coming in. Oh, you drew. Scored. Look at impressive pumpkin. It's borrowed. He's quailing. The quail is an easy fit into the like this chicken egg. You have a lot of eggs. You can use your press. Anything you have already. If we all should be used to the boom. One rule, no running to the shop. You have company, remember? You can't go to the shops when you got company. One quail hag has a price tag. I missed that one. Anyway, so that's basically what I've got in the update for the SHEDWARS22. Is there any other videos that I've missed? Actually, no, I know that there are. Because I've heard there's been like 20 odd entries so far into the Northern Hemisphere, and I haven't got 20 odd entries here. It's always lovely to see Ashley's allotment diary, isn't it? It's lovely to see all you. Thank you so much for joining me. But yes, I'm still recovering from this bug and still not feeling real great. So I'm going to have to cut it short if no one wants to come and jump up on the panel. I hope you've all had a fantastic week. And I encourage you all to go and have a look at the SHEDWARS22, at my SHEDWARS22 playlist. As I said earlier, you can find it on my homepage. Hi, Daz. Daz did an awesome live today where he did the whole news thing for the homesteading community. It was fantastic. It was lots of fun. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Oh, John did the banana cake challenge. I know Cosmic Cultivators did the banana challenge. Were they actually? Are they actually? Is that part of SHEDWARS? I thought that was separate from SHEDWARS. Oh, John's changed his channel logo. Has John actually done a video making his? Oh, thank you, Bibi. You have another microgreen video. Can you email me the links? I think it was this one where John was talking about the banana cake challenge because I was on that live. I don't. Has he actually made the cake yet? I know Cosmic Cultivators has just done his. Yeah, John put out the challenge on the live with Cosmic Cultivators on the panel. I don't think it's an official SHEDWARS video. So this is it. And part of the challenge was for Chris anyway, was he had to be in a banana holder or something. So he's basically just wearing budgie smugglers, but we call them budgie smugglers in Australia. No, I missed it. That's past that. When he's putting the cake in the oven, it's a really good video. I actually encourage you to put it on. I will add that to my SHEDWARS22 playlist, but I don't think it's actually officially a SHEDWARS22 video because they're using the banana hammock. Sorry, he's calling it a banana hammock challenge. Oh, I had a pretty decent shot of it. So yes, there's Chris in his banana hammock. But you're telling me he didn't need to show us that one again. And of course, then I go and show it. Oh dear, it's bad enough with John Keeney. But yes, so that's the banana hammock. But you should definitely check out this cake. This cake is just absolutely mind-blowing. Let's see if I can find it. Check that out for a banana cake, will you?
This is an open challenge.
If you think you got what it takes to make a banana.
We've gone too far forward.
I could work on the bananas Foster.
He's made an amazing banana cake. I'd never even heard of a banana cake.
I really do.
This reminds me a lot of a carrot cake, but it's a carrot cake on steroids. Oh my goodness, it just looks delicious. Daz, you should totally join in on this.
So
you don't need to do the banana. But look at that. I reckon you could challenge it, Daz. You could totally challenge it. I'd love to see what you do.
An open challenge.
If you think you got what it takes to make a banana cake.
Yeah. Anybody and everybody can join us. We'll figure out the hashtags in the description below. How we can. Oh, she just dropped it all.
That was a blooper.
That was a blooper moment. So in the descriptions below, we'll do the
that
hashtags.
Is a challenge.
And I will make a playlist of whoever decides to join this delicious, delectable, yummy challenge.
Can you beat him,
Jen?
Daz?
We hope you enjoyed. Here I am. Like I said I was going to, guys. Banana hammock, not required. But if you want to have fun
You
with it
don't
like
have to
I
do the
did,
banana
please.
Plus, you know,
Please
you're
don't
going
do the
to spice
banana
it up
hammock.
and give John a little challenge with this John Heaney.
Yes, yes. Maybe someday you'll get the full view when I go for general position. Anyway.
So that's the banana cake challenge. Oh dear. Maybe you could make it for the rest of the family. Personally, I prefer carrot cake. I always thought it was banana bread. See, I know how to make banana bread. I've never made a banana cake before. So, yes, the costume is optional. At $3 a kilo, not putting bananas in a cake. Yeah, they're not cheap anymore, are they? You got to go watch it through, Daz. His banana cake is amazing. Like, he even did this whole burning off the alcohol thing. Didn't actually get the thing on fire because he'd already made sure that. So he put a banana liqueur in here. Absolutely amazing. You've got to watch it, Daz, and I'd really love to see you actually step in on this challenge. So it looks really, really cool. And it just looks so yummy. Yes, that's certainly a would. Oh, you have one coming. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. You canned your cake. Well, that's different. I'd never thought of canning a cake. Ooh, I'm not sure what the conversion rate is on that. Yeah. Yeah, apple tree. That's just so sad. We've been getting a lot of rain here. Unfortunately, you guys haven't been, which is really, really sad. Really sad. My banana tree is not actually producing any bananas yet. It's too little, but it's probably thinking about it. It'll be close, actually. Now, I need to find wild edibles. Yeah, they've had some really hot weather over in Perth. Actually, it probably would because there are about 3 pounds in a kilo. Oh, that is sad. You had a tomato tree? It's Andy. Hi, Andy. Thank you for popping in. Okay, now where are these microgreens? Wild? Ah, there you go. Yes, you do have the tank. Oh, there it is. I do apologise that I missed that. There we go. You're now added to the list. Oh, okay. That's really good. get you to do it, did she? I should do a microgreens video. I haven't done any microgreens for ages. I'm so out of kilter with everything being in this whole house limbo thing. Shadow Cat disappointed it's not dinner. We're going out to dinner. Now what can we see today? Skip from monkey, label arugula. Oh, you've reversed the writing. The magical video. I thought that was like Sesame Seed. No, he hasn't called yet. You did the backwards thing for bunches. That was very cool. Wild's got all sorts of fun things there. And growing microgreens is a really good way of actually growing your own food too. I was growing lots of mung beans last year. I get nearly worked out for like 500 grams every 3 days or something. And it was part of that low reactive diet that I was doing, which I really should do again, but until I've got running water in the fridge and ability to cook in the one building, it's not going to work. Oh, and there's the that's the Flat Jonathan and Flat Matthew. That's very cute. Now I better add that to the playlist. Oh no, I did that already, didn't I? Yeah, go Team. Hang on, no, I'm Team Will It Grow. Go Team Will It Grow. I think I'd take the payout, bulldoze the house and build for cheap. I'll be lucky to get $11,000 from the insurance. That's not going to cover the cost of bulldozing the house. The insurance is only going to cover replacing the ceiling and the carpets. That's it. I'm not going to get anything more from that from the insurance. Unfortunately, I don't think bulldozing the house is actually going to be an option. I am looking at doing a little mobile home type thing, but we need to check on prices of things. The other problem is Gavin's only been at his new job for 3 months, and we can't refinance the house and the property until he's been working there for 6 months. So that's not an option either. So I mentioned this earlier that we basically have 4 options. We can repair the house, which has got so many problems that hubby was like, if you start one thing, then it's like just you're putting a band-aid over a gaping wound. Second option is bulldoze the house and build another house. Don't know what the council regs on that is. I've heard the council in the Lockyer Valley is shocking. Third option is buy something similar to what we've got here that we got for Mum as the granny flat, our temporary accommodation. And the fourth option is to look at buying a like a second-hand house type thing. I don't know that there's much point in talking to the lawyers because honestly, I'm lucky that the insurance company's been paying anything. From the very beginning, they could have just gone, you had rain come through your roof because of poor workmanship. You need to go back to the people that repaired your roof, which they are the one company that I possibly could go back on. because even the builder that did the building inspection before we bought the house, it's not going to work either, because all of the problem, like he told us that the roof needed doing, which is why we got it fixed, and then it leaked worse. But everything else that we've found is a problem. He couldn't have seen, like he couldn't see through the concrete. He couldn't see that the concrete was cracked. You can't see through the tiles. You can't see the plumbing under the ground. It's not stuff that's covered under the building and pest inspection. It's the one challenge of buying a house that's a owner builder, and it's a 30-year-old house as well. But the other side of that too is insurance doesn't cover ground movement caused by droughts and floods. So if your ground cracks and all that sort of stuff and there's movement, it's not covered. And most of our problem is because we actually chop the trees down, and chopping those trees down has affected the moisture level in the house and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, the house is buggered. Yeah, I'm thinking that. Runner's mare. I don't think so. Dealing with permits is a pain, and the Lockyer Council is just a shocker. The big problem with taking the payout is I actually spoke to, because we've still got a little bit of mold that needs to be cleaned up that hasn't been finished, and I need to get onto them about that. Is the quotes that the insurance company are getting to do stuff, they get a different rate than what I would. I actually rang Steamatic, they're the ones that have been doing the mold remediation. And they said, oh, we can do stuff for you, but it's going to be at a different rate than it would be for the insurance company. So they're going to charge me a lot more than what they'd be charging the insurance company, which is a bit unfair, but it's not a bad idea, but I don't think I've got a leg to stand on, really. I am really, really lucky that they covered anything at all, because when the building inspector, like when we first started having problems with the roof, I kept hassling the tradesman to come back and fix the work, and got my insurance company to come out to see if I was covered by anything. And the first thing the guy said was, this is just poor workmanship. This is not covered under your insurance. So yes. Yep, absolutely. Yes, send snowballs. It'd be nice, but he really couldn't have seen anything. Yeah, I'm thinking the only problem with leaving the house is, and getting a tiny house, like the tiny house that I'm looking at, which I showed everyone before, like the one that I'm actually looking at. Well, I was looking at it before we got this one, but he didn't have the equipment available, because this is made out of the cold room walls as well, but it's made in Australia to Australian standards, and it's much better quality than this. And it's got a proper roof, and it's already got guttering. And all you need to do is plug in a hose with your water and plug in your power, and you're done. It's actually set up for a caravan park. But he'll customize these as well. So we could get this customized. This particular one is only a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom living room. So it's not big enough for us, but he actually does ones that are much bigger. So this is what I'm wanting to do. This is actually a lot cheaper than what we paid for this. This all up so far has cost over 30 grand, and we haven't finished yet. I mean, we haven't got water plumbed up to it. There's just so many things that are needing to be done on this still. It's not funny. So we've got, as you can see, there's 17 people watching in the last 24 hours. We have been out to talk to him. But because we've got the expandable container house here, which is my mum's granny flat, so thankfully we're renting it off here first. So we're not in a position where we have nowhere to live. We just have some big problems. So yeah, the house is just buggered. Yeah, and we're only going to get about 11,000 from the insurance if I'm lucky. I'm going to work on trying to get more than that because I got my carpenter that did the roof replacement for me. He came out and gave me a quote on fixing the ceiling and fixing the termite damage, and that alone is $10,000. Yeah, that whole act of God thing is a bit of a pain. A tree house. Yeah, forget them. Oh, the whole thing is I want to be able to get the money that they were going to pay for the mold to be remediated. So if I can get that money from them, then I can put it towards something else. Yeah, I think the insurer is more than fair. They've done a fantastic job. They really have. I'm really not upset with them per se, except for the fact that it's taking them so long to actually make a decision. The building inspector, again, isn't really the one that's caused most of the problems, because the problems with the slab, he couldn't have seen. It had carpet covering over the top of it. It had on the section that's exposed now, and the rest of the house has got tiles. So he couldn't actually see the cracks in the concrete. So he had no way of gauging that. And we chopped the trees down. And the trees being chopped down is what's unstabilized the clay composite soil more. Because they were big gum trees, but we had to chop them down because their leaves were like within a metre of the gutter. They should never have been planted there. They were within a metre of the gutter, and they were just constantly filling up the gutter. And we're on tank water, so we drink that water, and those leaves were actually, tainting the water. So it was actually poisoning it, which is a problem. So we had to chop the trees down, but chopping the trees down has made it so the clay composite soil is more unstable. So that's what's caused most of the problems, and that is not something I can go back on the building inspector for. Yeah, if we do get the concrete fixed, we would be able to fix the plumbing, which we know is also a problem with the house. We've already been told it's going to cost 10 grand to fix the plumbing. But if we get the concrete done, then the plumbing will be fixed at the same time. But we still need to do all the guttering. We need to get the drainage around the house sorted. There's just so many things with this house that needs work. Yeah, being it's an owner-builder house, there are just so many problems. I just wish that we hadn't actually bothered about getting but if we hadn't got the roof done, because the roof itself cost us $18,500, and we couldn't get anything done with the insurance until the roof was done. So we had to get the roof done, and that's what actually showed us all the problem. No, Bibi, it's actually my mum's granny flat. So my mum's actually bought this to be her granny flat when now we've got somewhere to live, because she's actually living in. So the way it works is we've got a third of the house has been gutted, and then there's two-thirds of the house that's kind of livable still. Well, it is, but it's still got problems. Like mum's concrete is still wet, and there's a air scrubber in there at the moment. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about that one. But so she's living in the house still, but so what we're living at the moment is her granny flat. Yes. No, the inspector couldn't see through the walls and the floors. And they did mention the roof needed fixing. Yeah. It's a real challenge. It really is. Oh, it's absolutely. Well, the advantage of fixing when we fixed the roof, it meant that we found out about the other problems. We would never have found out about the issue with the concrete, or about how bad the mold was, or about the termites, and the termites would have eaten through more of the house. So we had to get the roof fixed. And we've gotten more than 18,000 out of the insurance company so far anyway. So this is definitely going to be a bonus, but we're going to have to do something about the house eventually. Whether we demolish and start again or fix it, I don't know, because it's going to completely devalue the property, not having a livable house on it. So Greg is awesome. He has been a big help. He did a fantastic job fixing the roof, and he came through and gave me a quote on Friday for doing the ceiling and repairing the termite damage, which obviously I'm not doing until, and he knows that, and he's not available to do it until May anyway. But any money that I got for that from hopefully I'd get from the insurance company, except for the termite damage, because termites are not covered under any insurance policy. Use the old house for the goats. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's it. Oh, it's a real mess. The ridiculous part is my friends that I bought the house from, and they are friends. They are lovely people. They didn't have any of these problems. None. They owned the house for 20 years and didn't, I mean, they knew the roof was an issue, but yeah, I was thinking that as well. How you doing, Moyle?
Hi, how are you?
So Annette from Apple Tree Urban Homestead says I should buy a yurt.
Yeah, something else. You're going to be doing a lot of work on that.
Yeah, the house needs a lot of work. And we just need to look at what we need to do, balance out all the options, see what our options are, and go from there.
Yeah. Getting a price on repairing the house would be worth it if you want to repair it. But it'll be like $100,000 approximate.
I reckon it would be.
Yeah, easy. And to get somebody to do it properly, you might be paying double.
Yes.
So you'll get screwed over, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is what happens with getting a roof fixed in the first place. I mean, we plowed $5,000 into the roof in the first place, and all they did was spray clear it and then clean it and then paint it.
Yeah.
Whereas if they had actually fixed it properly, we wouldn't have found out about the termites, we wouldn't have had the mold, and we would never have found out about the concrete. So we would have had a whole heap of problems that we didn't know about, but they were still problems.
Yeah, you don't really know until you start digging in walls and ripping up your carpet and then you find it all. Yeah. I have a 100-year-old house, and I started repairing it when we moved in here because we realized we didn't have any insulation in any of the walls. And winter was coming. And I had two little kids. And I was told by other renters that used to live here that they had to wear snow pants to bed. It was that cold in here. So first thing we did was a wood stove, and we replaced a lot of the walls, and that's when we found a lot of problems too. You don't really know until you start digging.
Well, you don't. Until you start taking things apart, you don't know what the problem is. Now, on the topic of the chopping down the trees, our biggest problem is because our soil is clay composite soil. If you don't have clay composite soil, you don't really have a major problem, although we shouldn't be chopping down trees. But I'm planning on replanting a different species of tree that isn't going to overhang the gutters.
Yeah.
So, My Aussie Garden Kitchen says it's good to see you, Weil. Bibi's
So
getting
it's
a gypsy
just-
caravan. As for Mum charging us rent again, I don't think she knows what she's doing on that side. Because she's also looking at the fact that we still need to do a lot of repair work on this and get this actually ready for her to live in. So, and she's gotten a reasonable amount of money from the insurance company towards it. And
I
there's
think
a picture of Bibi in a gypsy caravan. So can I actually.
I think that option in the other tiny house that you were going to get before, if you can get another one of them in the near future, that would be like perfect.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking this one's going to be the best option that we can get, assuming that he's actually hasn't got a huge waiting list. Of course, I keep telling everybody about it, so.
Yeah. Maybe you'll get preferential treatment then, though.
Oh, I
Maybe
don't
you
think he
get
knows that
first
I'm the one
one.
telling everyone. Yeah, cleaning gutters is a pain.
It'll give you
But
time to either fix the other one or turn it into a barn. Put your goats in there.
mind you, I don't want the goats to have health problems because of the mold.
Yeah, exactly. You can rip it right down to the bare bones to put your goats in there and have
Well, we're
nothing.
thinking of possibly doing that, but we'd still need to make it so that the concrete's not wet. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We really don't know what we're doing yet. We need to get some quotes on how much things are going to cost. And we're probably just going to have to tread water for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm still glad that we're here. Because,
Yeah,
I mean, if
yeah,
we stayed in our previous accommodation, that, yeah, we had 3.5 acres,
yeah,
but we were on a floodplain. We were in a 100-year-old house, which was lovely, but it was 2 stories, and I was struggling with the stairs, and Mum couldn't manage the stairs. No, ducks don't like mold either. Mold's not good for anyone's respiratory system. So it's just, we couldn't have stayed where we were. And the mortgage there was 3 times of what this one is.
yeah,
And if we'd been there during the pandemic, we would have lost the house.
probably, yeah.
We would have lost the whole thing because the place where Gavin was working there just cut everybody's hours by half. And we couldn't have afforded the mortgage.
Yeah. Everybody's been feeling the pinch.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a lot of
Gavin was
blessings.
out of work. Gavin wasn't working for about 18 months there, I think, courtesy of the pandemic.
Exactly.
So I'm just
You have
grateful
a
that
lot
he's
of
working
blessings
now.
where you are. You have a lot of blessings.
Yeah. I mean, he's
You have a lot of
working
crap
now.
going on,
So
but
it'll be all good. It'll work out in the end. And the main thing I wanted out here was the 10 acres. And I've got the 10 acres. So yes, Bibi, life is a daring adventure or nothing at all.
even
Although I really
$1
wish that
million
life wasn't
homes,
quite so interesting. Pardon?
even $1 million homes in Toronto have termites. So
Oh,
you're not.
yeah.
You can spend $1 million and still not have a livable house.
That's
So,
right. I mean, and no one is covered for termites. No insurance company will cover you for termites.
No.
Good morning, Janderra.
Morning, Mike. I hope you slept well. So it's Annette's dream to live on a tiny house on a 1/4-acre block filled with raised garden beds.
That'd be beautiful.
Night, Dad. Thanks for joining us. And thank you for sharing out my challenge on your live today.
Yeah, we've been thinking about putting a tiny house in the garden and turning this house into one for the birds.
Andy, no, I don't have any roosters crowing. That's Wild.
That's good.
Wild has the roosters, and it's not 10:30 p.m. at Wild's.
Yeah, they're driving me nuts.
Yeah. We have Silky's babies. I think one might be a hen and the rest are roosters. And that was 8 of them. So 7 roosters. And 3 already went in the freezer. And we have another 3 to go. And we might keep one for outside to breed with Silky mixes out there. So, but all these babies are in the house going off. Too cold out there right now for them. Minus 30.
It's a bit chilly at your place at the moment.
Yeah.
It's starting to cool down here now. I'm hoping we're not going to have too many more really hot days, but I haven't checked the weather.
Yeah, you guys need a break in the heat. We need a break in the cold. Even out a little bit.
We've been really lucky this summer, because it's been so wet. We haven't it hasn't been as hot as usual. Perth has, but Perth's on the other side of Australia.
Yeah.
No, 4 bedrooms don't count as a tiny house. Nice try. Yeah, tiny house. The big advantage for a tiny house is there's a lot less work to do in the house, and you get it done a lot quicker. Like if I'm cleaning the big house, it literally, like when Gavin's dad was coming over for Christmas, it took 3 days and it nearly killed me just to mop all the floors and get stuff cleaned up. And it took me, it's going to be 34 on Wednesday. I didn't want to hear that, baby. It took me about 2 weeks to recover from doing all that cleaning.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I agree.
Hey, Adam. Lovely to see you. Mike promised to throw some snow over. You're thinking chicken soup, chicken curry, and chicken casserole. I think that's the answer for all your roosters.
Yep.
Well, I am about to have a whole heap as well. I've got the 3 that hatched under the chicken. They're all roosted. They're going to need to go in the pot soon, or the freezer.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave a Rhode Island Reds. I am going to try and sell some of them, but yeah, we've been getting really high humidity here. Usually it's a lot drier heat, and the drier heat's a lot easier to cope with. The humidity's a horrible thing.
Oh, it is.
See, now I'm happier with 42 degrees in dry heat than I am with 28 with high humidity. Because the humidity, that's the nasty stuff. You have mobile service. That's awesome, Adam. You're not at home, huh? Silhouette Park Farm are having a major issue with their internet at the moment. I think they were stuck with radio was their only way of communicating with the outside world the other day.
Oh, wow. Hopefully they get it fixed soon.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like Adam's got mobile service now.
Yeah.
Now, gardening Perth, is that humid 34 degrees or is that a dry 34 degrees? The 34 degrees, if it's dry, I can handle it. It's the humidity. The humidity is what's nasty. But yes. Anyway, this is kind of what I'm hoping for, to get this kind of something like this. I think that's going to be a good solution for us so that we can at least have somewhere to live while we sort everything else out. Because we're going to have to sort everything else out. But this is going to give us time to save up the money. And, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's 37 degrees at 95% humidity the other day, Adam. Was absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. It was just disgusting. There is no other word for 95% humidity other than really great for growing plants.
When it's like that, the sweat just drips off you no matter what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You go outside and you're dripping. It's like,
See, 34 degrees if it's dry, I can handle that. It's 34 degrees if it's high humidity. That's horrible. 34 degrees with no humidity is awesome.
Yeah. Feels like you're smothering when you're out there. It's all that water. Yeah.
Bibi, Darwin is in the tropics. That is just humid. That's all it is. It's humid. They have the wet and the humid season.
Yeah, we're pretty dry right now.
And for those that don't know, Mike Caveman Savage is the real Mike the Caveman. If you see Mike the Caveman, it's actually wild.
Yeah, I keep telling people caveman can't use smartphones yet. Need to help him with it. But he helps on both channels. If I need a camera guy or something, he'll help her. I'll take the video. We help each other.
I'm really hoping Perth gets some relief soon. But Western Australia is normally hot. It's normal for it to be hot. Adam says Darwin is hot and wet and hot and wetter. That sounds about right. Yeah.
There's a quail for you, Andy.
Yeah, that's why you don't walk outside. Gardening Perth saying, not sure you walk outside even under a shady area and it burns your skin. It's like, yeah, you don't go outside in the sun.
That's too hot.
Oh, yes, and don't forget the cyclones. Darwin also gets the cyclones.
You guys are burning out. That's why I wanted to have this challenge. Like, it's not, you don't need to grow it, you know, because a lot of your gardens are burning right now. What are you going to do? Right? So, Bimmy gave me a little inspiration on use your preps. What do you got at home? And when the trucker thing going on, we might have more supply problems. So I kind of wanted to work that in without really putting that into Shed Wars either. So,
Bibi says wet season sucks. Then you have the dry season, which is still 30 plus and less humid. As we said, hot and still wet.
Yeah, you guys don't get much of a difference between, well, you do, but because you'll go down to around 0, some of you, but you don't get 30 below, 40 below weather. It's been a challenge keeping the water bowls with water in them. It'll freeze in like 10 minutes out there.
Absolutely. So. Here in the Lockyer Valley in southeast Queensland, I really am very, very blessed. I can grow all year round. The hardest part is during summer. I just need to make sure I've got enough shade cloth and enough mulch down, and I'm pretty good. Although I haven't got that set up yet. Hi, Rem's Family Farm.
I think that's what Shed Wars was teaching me more, is personally how we all handle our weather.
Yes.
Right? So that can teach a lot of other people that are just experiencing that for the first time.
Gardening in Perth, Australia is going to give instant noodles to everyone.
That's welcome, Perth.
It works. That's part of your preps, isn't it? I actually did get a whole heap of instant noodles the other day. Actually, that was one thing I did while we were sick. I made sure I had a whole heap of meals prepared, already ready in the freezer, so we didn't have to cook anything.
That's good.
I don't get cyclones here. We just get the lows after it. And that's when we get really good soaking rain. So really, from our perspective, a cyclone is a good thing. From the coast, bad thing. I'm in enough from the coast to make it so that by the time it gets to me, it's a low already. So it's just dumping a heap of rain. So I'm really quite lucky in that respect. Let's see if I can.
If you want, you can use your freezer meal in the challenge too. That's a good way to show people that you can freeze a meal and bring it out and use it later too.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Show people how to do it, right? Yeah.
Good idea.
My idea is just to show people what we all can come up with, you know? What we got at home, what we can throw together.
Okay, now for those that don't know, gardening in Perth and
Yeah, give us the map.
Apple Tree Urban Homestead, they're over this side of Australia. I'm over this side of Australia, and so is Adam Kilpatrick, and so's Bibby, and so's the Down Manor. So we're over here. So Darwin, where Bibby grew up, is up here. That is tropical.
Okay.
This part of Brisbane, this is subtropical. Where Adam and I are, we're in a warm temperate zone. Perth is just in a desert. Okay, there might be a slight exaggeration. So cyclones come down this area, but by the time it gets into inland to us, it's only water, lots of rain. Cyclones come around in here and do lots of damage, and cyclones can come around here and do lots of damage.
We're in Scratch.
In the Yard Homestead, when he had his place before he got kicked out, he was over here.
Okay.
Darren from Down Under Farm and Forge, I think, is he New South Wales or Melbourne? I can't remember. Flowerfolk Farm and Little Garden Big Dreams, they're down in Melbourne, so they're down here. Daz, I think, is down in Melbourne. He's either Melbourne or New South Wales. I always get these two mixed up.
It's nice to know where everybody is.
Yes.
Wouldn't it take you like a day to travel all across, like straight across?
I believe it's longer than a day.
Okay.
A lot longer than a day. I think it's
Probably
like a day to get across here. But if I put into here, let's see if I can get directions.
I don't think people realize how big Australia is, really.
Okay, so Brisbane to Perth is 46 hours.
Oh, wow.
Does that give a little bit of context?
Or
49 hours, depending on which way you go. There, Brisbane to Adelaide. Oh, hello, Utopian Dreams. Brisbane to Adelaide is 2 days. So Adelaide's over here. So Brisbane to Adelaide, that's 2 days. Gardening in Perth, Western Australia points out it's only 5 hours by plane, which is right. There you go, Victoria. Darren's in Melbourne. So thank you, guys. Darren is in Melbourne. So Darren is down here. Although tomorrow, I believe it is, he's going to be jumping on a plane and going to America. He's very excited. Gardening Perth, Western Australia said, "Oi, we are no desert. We have red sand." Oh dear. So Bibby's saying she went through Cyclone Tracy. and that came down into the Darwin area. That was in 1974. It was a very famous cyclone in Australia. Let's see. Yes, you got flooded in Quilpie, didn't you? You're not supposed to do that. Now, so that everyone knows where Quilpie is, because I actually don't. I believe it's central Queensland. So, yes, that's where Quilpie is. So it's a 10-hour drive. So when Adam goes to work in Quilpie, which he does quite regularly, he's not going from Brisbane. He's going from the Lockyer Valley. Lately-ish. It's still 9 hours. So he's going. It's a 9.5-hour drive that he's taking to get to Quilpie.
It's a long drive.
Gardening Perth says, and that's no traffic.
Yeah.
There you go. Perth is a temperate zone. You'd be Are you a warm temperate zone there? Because that's the same as us. Here in the valley, we're a warm temperate. Because you're not going to be a cool temperate. 46 hours solid driving. So 4 times 11.5 hours. Really? Google lies. You gotta watch out for drop this. Hi, Utopian Dream is your son's girlfriend. Welcome, Bibi's son's girlfriend. She was the one that said that Brisbane to Adelaide is 2 days. So Brisbane's here, Adelaide is here. So yes. Australia is actually a fairly big place.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of other countries don't realise.
It takes about 4 days to travel across Canada from Ontario to BC. So it'd take you about maybe 5 or 6 if you start from one end to the other end.
Mm-hmm.
So
does Canada go? Is that all the way across this river and over to here?
Yeah.
So that takes 4 days.
From all the way from one end of Canada to the other end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Australia is about the same distance. It's about the same size as the width of the United States.
Yeah.
So one side of the USA to the other side.
Yeah. And they don't realize that.
No, they don't.
Smaller.
And New Zealand is not attached to Australia.
Yeah.
See how far away it is? Papua New Guinea's closer. It's still not Australia. Tasmania, on the other hand, is part of Australia.
Yeah. I thought I knew where everything was before, but no, I'm learning a lot more that I had a lot of things messed up where they were. A lot of the islands I thought were in different areas, but they're not. They're, yeah. Learning a lot more world geography.
I think Canada is actually a little bit bigger than Australia by the looks of it. If you're going all the way from that side to all the way to that side.
We have a weird shape.
It is a very unusual shape, isn't it?
It widens when it gets up there to Alaska.
Yeah.
And if you measure there all the way over in the north part, and we have all up north there, all those islands.
This is all Canada as well, does it? Is it?
Yeah, all of them islands are all Canada. That's why we have the largest, like ocean around. You know what I mean? Our country, because they count around all of them islands, seashore or whatever, right?
Except for Greenland. You're not part of Greenland.
No. No, Greenland is a separate country, but we're all up into there.
So Canada's all the way.
Native land. Nunavut is up there. That is one of our new territories
Mhm.
that we kind of gave it to the natives because they were there already, kind of getting pushed up in there.
Yeah.
So none of it was kind of already native. So we separated it off as its own territory
Mhm.
for the native.
Yes, you've had a bit of a geography lesson tonight.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, that's it, Perth. Largest coastal area around, like the seashore, ocean shore. I don't think any of those islands are in Honolulu, though.
Adam says the time zones in Australia. Queensland is Australian Eastern Standard Time. New South Wales is Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And then Tasmania is 1947. It's essentially
Nice.
correct. But Tasmania is actually a really lovely place.
Yeah, we heard a lot of cool things about that there.
It is
A lot
lovely.
of nature shows and stuff.
That's priceless, Adam. There are other time zones as well. South Australia has got a different time zone. It's half an hour ahead of Brisbane, I think. And Perth is 2 hours behind. Is that right, Apple Tree Urban Homestead? It's nearly 11 o'clock here. What time is it for you? I think it'd be about 9 o'clock for her and for Gardening Perth, Western Australia. I can't remember what the Northern Territory's time zone is.
I know when I lived in northern British Columbia, we didn't change our time at all. It was just no daylight savings or any of that.
I hate daylight savings. We don't have daylight savings in Queensland. They keep trying to bring it in, but it's hopeless for anyone that lives above southeast Queensland. It's
Yeah.
just too hot. There you go. Adelaide is currently 30 minutes in front of Brisbane. So they're 30 minutes ahead and they're 2 hours behind.
I know in northern BC.
Although they're still doing, are you in, does Adelaide have daylight savings time there? I can never remember. I hate daylight savings. I really do. Oh, there you go. Northern Territory is, so this is Northern Territory and it's 30 minutes behind. They're 30 minutes ahead. They're an hour ahead. Oh, so are they. They're a couple of decades behind. 2 hours behind. I think we got it right. Northern Territory's on dream time.
There we go.
And Perth still uses cash.
Yeah.
Tasmania is an amazing place. It is absolutely beautiful.
Northern BC, our sun didn't set until about 11, 12 o'clock in the summer.
Yeah.
And in the winter, it was like 4 o'clock. So, big difference.
I always found it interesting when Josh was doing his lives and the sun was up and we were in complete darkness.
Yeah.
It's like we're in the same country.
Weird, eh?
But there's 2 hours difference between the two sides of the country, which is kind of interesting. But just a bit of trivia. And New Zealand's like 4 hours or something behind
Yeah,
it.
Johnny would see the sun before we do.
Yeah, New Zealand get to see the sun first, don't they, or something? Where's Greenwich? I don't know where there it is. What's it called? Can't think of the name of it. Greenwich Mean Time or whatever it is. The line for Greenwich. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I think we can learn a lot more about geography over the internet, talking with each
Oh,
other than we ever did in school, unless you took it.
Totally. I think in Perth said we had daylight saving time once, and the cattle and the pigs and the ducks and the sheep blocked our freeways every day.
I love that. I know my roosters protest.
There you go. Apparently, Australia and Canada are roughly the same size, according to Mr. Google Pants.
Ah,
Now, and honestly, you can't take it, like you can't just pick
Yeah.
up a picture of this and drag it over here and go, oh no, they're different
no, we
sizes,
can't.
because the size is distorted. It's
Yeah.
not an accurate map. Because basically we're a
Exactly.
globe and this is a two-dimensional object, a two-dimensional representation. So it's obviously not right.
And you'd have to switch Canada up to make it look like Australia anyway. So,
Yeah, because you got a ocean up here.
yeah, we got
count.
a huge bay there too. Georgian Bay and Hudson Bay. They're huge. That's all water. It's not land.
Mm. So Utopian Dream is saying Adelaide in the peak of summer is light until 9 p.m., which made for a big shock, both arriving there and getting back here. Oh, it would have been. That would be
Yeah.
huge. Because it's like, I mean, here the sun sets at about 6:20 in the evenings on, or at the moment. So we've just passed the longest day of the year. Wow. We're definitely having a wonderful geography lesson. It's just fascinating. And to think there are people in Shed Wars from over the entire planet. It's been so good getting to know everyone.
I agree.
Adam says, ask Siri what is 0 divided by 0. It's very funny. I don't actually have access to Siri, unfortunately. So I can't ask that question. Someone ask Siri what 0 divided by 0 is and tell me what it is, because now I'm curious. It's not nice to leave me curious. Totally not tragic. But
0.0000.
what did Mike say?
Zeros go in zero.
It's just giving you a silly answer. He didn't ask Siri.
Oh, okay.
0.01 or 0.00001.
Don't know that that's what Siri would say. I wonder if you can Google what Siri says.
Probably do the same thing. Okay, Google what is 0 divided by 0. Google will just tell you 0
What
though.
I found on the app, there ain't nothing there.
It says undefined. It just says undefined.
Catch ya, Ermin.
Thank you
Dream.
for joining us. It was lovely to meet you, Evan. Utopian Dreams. Oh, looks like other people say it. Ask it too. Hang on. You ask Siri the question, operating system. Virtual assistant will cleverly tell you that you are making no sense. Imagine that you have 0 cookies. Siri's response begins and you split them evenly among 0 friends. Really?
What about the one that came over for company though?
Did she bring the cookies?
Yeah, the friend brought the cookies.
The question is that somebody actually came up with that particular response for Siri.
That's funny.
You're not supposed to type it into Google. You're supposed to ask your phone. I don't have an iPhone. And I don't have my phone listening to me either. I haven't got it turned on to voice activated stuff. Night, Goaty. Gotti? Is it Gotti? Anyway. But it is 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I think my phone's about to die too. Need to put on
It's only 8 o'clock.
8 a.m. here.
So I'm thinking I'd better get going because I really need to get some more sleep and I need to turn these eggs before I go to bed.
Yeah, good luck with your eggs, man.
I hope they go well. Although the advantage of them not going well is I don't have to look after them.
Yeah.
And I
thought my one broody hen was getting sick like the rest of my chickens because she's just laying there all the time. And I'm thinking, well, maybe she just wants to lay, like sit on eggs. So I gave her a bunch of quail eggs a couple of weeks ago, and she started laying on them. So she's not sick, which is good. But I might have a bunch of quail coming soon.
Oh, my broody hen is absolutely useless. You put a dozen eggs under her. So the first time I could understand her only hatching 2 eggs because she'd had all the other eggs put underneath her afterwards so that they were all hatching at a different rate. But this time I kept all the eggs so that they were all at the same rate and I put them under her. 2 hatched and she walked away.
Yeah.
So a full dozen eggs and I only got 2 chicks and then one of them died. So
yeah. That's
I'm not really. That's why I've gone back to the incubator. At least the incubator, I've got a better chance of getting a better hatch rate.
Yeah, I'm glad this broody hen of mine's not sick because she just reached maturity and she started being broody. So she's got that high in her intuition, right? So she's doing really well with it. And she only gets off 1 time a day to eat and poop and drink, and then she's back on them. And she'll sit there until they all hatch or close to it, and then she gets off. So
you see, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
My broody hen is not doing that.
So I'm really hoping she don't get sick. So
yeah, I hope not. Yeah, my chook's not that smart either. My chook gets up with the first 2 chickens that hatch, and then she wanders off and leaves the eggs.
Well, she thinks she did her job.
Well, probably she's got her 2 chicks. Now, I could have taken those 2 chicks. I probably should have taken the 2 chicks out. I mean, if I'd taken the 2 chicks out, then she possibly would have hatched some more.
Possibly, yeah.
But honestly, I was sick at the time and I didn't really feel like doing anything. She was lucky I even noticed that she had chicks.
How are you feeling?
Pardon?
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm still not great. You can probably hear the congestion in my voice.
Yeah.
My nose is oscillating between running like a tap and totally stuffed up. My lungs are really not happy. My asthma's playing up quite badly. Pardon?
At least you can water your garden.
Well, that's true. They're running like a tap. They're still really tired. This is probably the latest I've been up for about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 3 weeks.
You do sound a little bit better, though. I know you're still sick, but you sound a lot better than you did last week.
Oh, yes. Last week was not pleasant. So I am getting better each day. I'm getting a little bit more done. I actually got out and did some mowing the other day, which was lovely. Because I'm like, I'm not well enough to do anything else. But the grass needs mowing.
Yeah.
I got a bit of mowing done. But then that wrecked me for the rest of the day. So
yeah.
And all I was doing was sitting on the ride-on. I mean, it's not really strenuous work, but it's not taking much to knock me off my feet. So I'm basically focusing on doing the boys' schoolwork. And Jonathan's been pestering to do schoolwork since 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
he is ridiculously ready for school.
Yeah.
Ready and eager.
I'm glad.
So yeah, it's all good. But I do need to get to bed so that I can do some schoolwork with him in the morning, or he's going to protest something shocking because it's a school day and he's not getting to do schoolwork.
Exactly.
The one challenge with homeschooling. Yes, I can do schoolwork with the boys in my pajamas, but I can't do it with my eyes closed.
No.
Sorry.
You can try.
I have tried in the past. It didn't work very well. They didn't get a lot of work done.
Tell the boys we said hi and have a great night. Get some
Izzy,
sleep.
thanks for joining me. And thank you. Night. Have a great day, you guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And he's an absolute sponge. He loves to learn. But thank you so much for joining me and keeping us company tonight, this morning. I hope you have a fantastic day. Remember, you're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting. And I'll catch you in the comment section. Bless you. Have a great day.